All right, it's time for a sparring rumor. There's a sparring rumor going round that Tyson Fury actually dropped, some say even knocked out, Joyce in sparring in this training camp for the Deontay Wilder fight. This is the rumor that's going round. I'm not going to say who this rumor is said to have come through because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. The person who told me this, they personally know somebody in the Fury camp. And yeah, this is what they're saying. Now, this rumor may or may not be true, obviously. What reason would there be for somebody within the Fury camp to put out a fake rumor, to claim that something happened which didn't happen? What would be the point of that? Well, the point would be that a loudmouth individual who likes sparring rumors like me would end up making a video about it on their YouTube channel and therefore helping to sell the fight. Right? All that kind of publicity feeds into the intrigue that people have for a particular matchup. So if you're putting out stories that Tyson Fury is flattening Joyce in sparring and, doing this, that, and the other, it's not going to hurt sales on BT Sport for the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, is it? It's not going to hurt. It's going to help that there are channels like me who are willing to make videos about the tiniest little sparring rumor. So, and again, I'm happy to help. At the end of the day, I want boxing to be as big as possible. And no, I'm not colluding or collaborating with Team Fury to put out rumors that I know to be false. I've got no idea whether this rumor is true or false. No idea at all. And I present it to you as such. I'm just somebody who wants to see the sport of boxing grow, the sport of boxing succeed, the sport of boxing flourish. And therefore, this fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, I've got a vested interest in this fight succeeding. Yeah. Particularly because it's taking place in the United States, and boxing in the United States at this point, particularly heavyweight boxing, is on life support. So that it needs a serious injection of life. And if me and my channel can do anything by way of publicizing this fight and encouraging people to buy the pay-per-view, then I'll do what I can. Obviously, if they want me to do a proper job and run ads for the fight on my channel, you better be talking the right dollar amount. Right? You know how some of the other channels do that. You better be talking the right dollar amount. Promoters have approached me for this stuff before. Never Eddie Hearn, by the way, but other promoters have approached me with regards to promoting their fight. But the compensation, the remuneration that they were offering me was pathetic. Don't come to me offering me no free tickets. Don't come to me offering me a meet and greet with one of the fighters. I've been around boxers most of my life. I'm not impressed. I'm not starstruck. I'm not somebody who's going to take a picture with Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder and pin it to my bedroom wall and have it framed. That's not me. They're just human beings with 2 arms and 2 legs. I'm not impressed by celebrity. Okay? If you're trying to come to me with any kind of deal, and I'm not just talking about this fight, for any fight in the future, don't come to me talking about you can have ringside tickets. You better be coming to me talking about money. That's the only way I'm going to be running ads for your fighter or your fight on my channel. Simple. But anyway, back to the sparring rumor. Joyce has got a reputation of being very tough, of having a good chin, although he's never had to show it in a professional fight. He gained this reputation through his amateur career and also through his sparring with Anthony Joshua and many other top heavyweights. For a while, they were calling Joyce the Iron Giant because his chin was that good. But as good as his chin may appear to be, he was knocked out in about 40 seconds by Sergey Kuzmin in the amateurs. That fight is on YouTube. Yeah. He was knocked out in about 30 seconds, dropped heavily in the opening moments of the bout, got up, but was in no fit state to continue in the judgment of the referee. So if Tyson Fury managed to land on Joyce perfectly, one of those big right hands he loaded up on, I don't see why he couldn't drop him. And vice versa, I'm sure Joyce could drop Tyson Fury if he caught him good. It's heavyweight boxing. And yeah, they're in sparring, they're wearing 18 or 20 ounce gloves and headgear, but it can still happen. You know, you have to remember that in sparring, you spar a lot more than you fight. So all kinds of stuff happens in sparring, which may not happen in your actual fights, simply because you spar far more. A fighter who's had 40 professional fights, I mean, how many rounds has he sparred? Thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds. And he may not even have fought 1,000 rounds as a professional boxing in professional fights, but he's sparred thousands of rounds. You see? So it's a numbers game. There's far more chance that a knockdown, if you're a guy who's never been knocked down in your career, there's far more chance that you're going to get knocked down in sparring than there is in a professional fight. For example, Vitaly Klitschko, there were rumors going around, which he didn't deny, by the way, that he was dropped in sparring by Freza Kendo. And some people say, Freza Kendo? There's no way that he dropped Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly Klitschko had an iron jaw and blah, blah, blah. Listen, stuff happens in sparring that would surprise you. The likes of a Freza Kendo drop people like the likes of a Vitaly Klitschko in sparring. That's the kind of surprising stuff that happens. Vitaly Klitschko's been knocked out in his life. He got knocked out in the amateurs by, oh God, what's the guy's name? I've gone blank. The guy who fought Hasim Ratman twice and stopped him twice and knocked him out of the ring. The guy who was the former WBC heavyweight champion is he from Uzbekistan? From one of those Eastern European countries. About 6'3", Eastern European guy. Fought Oliver McCall as well. Oh God, I can't remember his name. It's gone. It's gone. He fought Sam Peter as well. He lost to Sam Peter. He lost his WBC belt to Sam Peter. Did he have the belt or was it a vacant belt they fought for? I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah. That guy whose name escapes me, does it begin with an M? Oh, I can't remember his name. But he knocked out Vitaly Klitschko in the amateurs in 2 rounds. Vitaly Klitschko was also knocked out cold in kickboxing by Pele Reed. One of the reasons that Vitaly Klitschko had this reputation of having such a good chin as a professional boxer is because he didn't get hit much. And people are going to say, what? That don't make sense. Well, it makes sense when you think about the fact that the more often your chin is tested, the better idea we will have about how good your chin actually is. Vitaly Klitschko's chin was only really touched properly in 2 fights. Lennox Lewis and Corey Sanders. Outside of that, the guy hardly got hit with any power shots. He got hit with a few jabs here and there, but in terms of power shots, he hardly got hit. So he fought an out-of-shape Lennox Lewis, who wasn't punching at his hardest, because he wasn't at his athletic peak. You know, punching hard is not just about weight. It's about, can you maneuver your weight? And as I've mentioned before, when I've made videos about Jarrell Miller, sometimes when you're overweight, it can actually hinder your punching power because you can't shift your weight as effectively when you're overweight and when you're tired. So no, don't get it twisted. He took some big shots off Lennox Lewis. But that was one fight against an overweight, out of shape guy. He also had another fight against an overweight, out of shape Corey Sanders, but Sanders was a much faster puncher than Lennox Lewis. And for my money, he dropped Vitaly Klitschko in the first round of their fight and wasn't awarded a knockdown. Okay? Now, again, this is not me trying to diss Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly Klitschko is an all-time great, a fantastic fighter. But the reputation of his chin was based on the Lennox Lewis fight, really. You know, outside of that, he really didn't get hit that much, and so the chin wasn't tested like that. Whereas with other fighters throughout history, like George Chuvalo, a Ray Mercer, these kind of guys, their chins were tested far more thoroughly than Vitaly Klitschko. So you can look at guys like that and say, actually, their chins really were good. You know, at least Mercer's chin was very good prior to the nerve damage that he suffered in the Lennox Lewis fight. He suffered nerve damage in his neck following the Lennox Lewis fight and eventually had to have surgery on the nerve damage in his neck. And after that surgery that he had on the nerves in his neck, his punch resistance was never the same, Ray Mercer, after that. Okay. Now I'm kind of getting sidetracked here and going off on a tangent about punch resistance. But the point I'm making is things are not always what they seem. That's the best way I can describe it when it comes to the punch resistance of fighters. Some fighters genuinely have an iron jaw. But other fighters haven't been caught right in a professional fight yet. A good example might be Paul Williams. Paul Williams had a reputation of having a tremendous chin. When he fought the rematch of Sergio Martinez, very few people believed that Martinez could stop Paul Williams, much less knock him out cold with one punch early in the fight. But that's exactly what happened. Martinez had bounced those left hands off Paul Williams' chin many times in their previous fight. And Williams had taken him. But a shot that caught him in the rematch knocked him out cold. He was sleeping with his eyes open. That's how you know somebody's out cold. Fell flat on his face with his eyes open, out cold, lifeless. And that's a guy who had a reputation for having a very good chin. He just hadn't been caught in the right spot yet. Manny Pacquiao. The final fight he had against Marquez. Marquez had never come close to doing what he did to him. To be fair, Marquez's power, I think, was suspiciously improved in that fourth fight that they had. But still, to me, it's perfectly plausible that this rumor could actually be true. That Tyson Fury has dropped Joe Joyce in sparring. Then again, maybe it's not true. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Yes, I just made this video to speculate on the sparring, but also to explore the situations that go on in boxing in general with regards to people getting knocked down and punch resistance and all that kind of thing. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.